Alright, Shalom. I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great milestone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. This lesson here is going into leprosy, right? That Esau Edom, Job 9 and 24, which is given into the hands of the wicked, right? This devil, he comes up with, as the scriptures say, he changes everything, right? Everything is basically upside down, right? The laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he goes against those things. He changes over the names of different nations, right? For example, Moab is China, right? The Chinese people is Moab, as it written in the scriptures, right? So you give you a name called Chinese, right, which is really Moab. So that's just an example, right, for you all to understand where I'm coming from. Now this going into leprosy, which this devil is say leprosy is not what Sulakia, right? So as Esau Edom teach and shows everybody that leprosy is this bump, this swelling that you're getting, right? Which the scriptures is basically telling you the truth, that leprosy is not that. It is basically pigmentation that basically going from here, right? Now on the top here, it have a short clip of Jake facing the same situation, right? And as you can see, right, which is pigmentation leaving him. That is leprosy, right? Because if you Google leprosy, you wouldn't see this. You will see something completely different that Esau shows on that website, right? Because that's just to show you he's a liar, like as the scriptures say. That's roughly paraphrasing from the book of John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father the devil, right? And that's how Esau Edom is. He lies a lot. Everything he does, he lies. He have that forked tongue, right? He's that serpent from back then. So I will just read through the NLT just to make it more clear. And it reads, this NLT, there's a serious skin disease, right? On the King James Version is the test for leprosy, right? So let me get into it. Leviticus 13 and 1. Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron, if anyone has a swelling or a rash or discolored skin that might develop into a serious skin disease, that person must be brought to Aaron the priest or to one of his sons. And this is something that they used to do back then, right? the priest will examine the affected area of the skin. If the hair in the affected area has turned white and the problem appears to be more than skin deep, it is a serious skin disease, right? And the priest who examines it must pronounce the person's ceremonially unclean. But if the affected area of the skin is only a white discoloration and does not appear to be more than skin deep, and if the hair on the top has not turned white, the priest will quarantine the person for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest will make another examination. If he finds the affected area has not changed and the problem has not spread on the skin, the priest will quarantine the person for 7 more days, right? On the 7th day, the priest will make another examination. If he finds Salakia, the affected area has faded and has not spread, the priest will pronounce the person ceremonially clean. It was only a rash. The person's clothing must be washed and the person will be ceremonially clean. But if the rash continues to spread after the person has been examined by the priest and has been pronounced clean, the infected person must return to be examined again. So you see in the different stages, all these different things that they had to go through, right? If the priest finds that the rash has spread, he must pronounce the person ceremonially unclean. For it is indeed a skin disease. Anyone who develops a serious skin disease must go to the priest for an examination. If the priest finds Salakia, I'm just jump back here. So you see in verse 9 on the King James Version, it reads here, when the plague of leprosy is in a man, right, then he shall be brought unto the priest, right? A plague of leprosy, right? That's what you're seeing up here. Salakia, right? That's what you're seeing up here. Whatever part I want to get to. Must bear with my Babukasha. Right? I'm going to jump down. It's verse 10 in the NLT. If the priest finds a white swelling on the skin and some hair on the spot has turned white and there is an open So if the affected area, Salakia, in the affected area, it is a chronic skin disease, and the priest must pronounce the person ceremonially unclean. In such cases, the person need not be quarantined, for it is obvious that the skin is defiled by the disease, right? How suppose Salakia. Now suppose the disease has spread all over the person's skin, covering the body from head to foot, right? I'll read this part here on the King James Version. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy covered all the skin of him that has the plague from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean. Right? He pronouncing him clean. And this is also to show and to prove where so-called white people, right? So-called white people came from. You know? People who have no leprosy in Salakia, who have clean leprosy, right? People who was high colored, red skin, right? Fair skin, you could see. They have no pigmentation, I was to say Salakia. They have no pigmentation on the skin, right? They're not no dark skin, um, brown color, right? They're basically red, right? They're fair skin as some people will say. That is going into a clean leprosy, right? So that's nothing good. That's nothing good to be feeling about, because at the end of the day, at the beginning of time, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai created the earth and the heavens, right, and the angels and his only begotten Son, which is Yahweh Shai, which the world is ignorantly called um, Jesus Christ, they all of everybody who was here before at the beginning of time was dark skin, right? Different shades of brown, and that is how Yahweh Shai is, as in the book of Revelation, Revelation 1 from um, verse 12 go down to 16, right? It describes exactly how he looks, and also in the book of Daniel, right? So this is something serious that all is supposed to know, right? Because to be that complexion is not no highly thing, because that's what Esau Edom taught everybody, that that complexion is the best complexion, right? That being red skin, being so-called white man, right? That is the best thing to be, right? Which they have no pigmentation at all. That's why they can't be out in the sun for too long, right? That's why they just get so much of skin disease on their skin. That's why you see so-called white people walking around, and you might see some of them with some black spots coming through their pores and thing, different skin disease they get, right? That is not normal. So don't ever think that this is normal, right? Because as the scriptures say, let's roughly paraphrasing, the Lord said, let everybody, let the Lord be true and every man a liar, right? His words don't go void. This whole script here, this whole book, This whole Bible is of the Lord, right? I'm gonna finish here. Let me come back up. I'm gonna start from covered all his flesh. He shall pronounce him clean that has the plague, right? Which means they get the plague on them also, right? That's just showing you proof also with the so-called white man. And this is leprosy, right? It is all turned white. He is cleaned, right? So he have no kind of different marks. And as I say, these so-called white people, they have these kind of things on them, right? Now I'm not saying all white people, right? All Asian people, all these people out there, you know, is is um is Edomites, because it also have Jake mixed up in them, as the scripture says, you know, we scattered on the four corners of the earth, right? We are like the speck of birds out there. We look like the other nations, right? And how you just tell about the other nation, how you just tell if somebody is Hebrew Israelite is through the Spirit, right? The way how they move, the way how they act, the way how they talk, right? The different gifts they get, right? The talents they have, they could sing well, right? I know it all. I know all they know it are some singers out there that so-called white people, they could sing real good, you know. Right? So I'm gonna just read down here. I'm going to close it off. But if I'll go into the NLT here. But if any open select here, unless I see something I just want to show. Right. Pay attention to the J can here. Right? Pay attention to his hand here. I hope all you could see properly, you know, after I post it up. You're watching the complexion of his skin on his face, by his ears, his beard around there, right? The dark skin, it have one or two blemish parts of the pale piece. But when you watch his hand, so-called white man complexion, right? And that is where it also going in to verse 13 here, right? Leviticus 13 and 13, right? And that is also a point that I wanted to push out here to prove, right? So as it really in the NLT, verse 14, but if any open sores appear, the infected person will be pronounced ceremonially unclean. The priest must make his pronouncement as soon as he sees an open sore, since open sores indicate the presence of a skin disease, right? So basically that's the day that I wanted to show, right? This this whole this whole this whole thing here that they come out with, they also come out with a cream to 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 clear it up, right? And these are the kind of wonders that Esau Edom does, right? The devil, right? These gifts he get to show his wonders, to deceive the whole world, right? to come up with all kind of different witchcraft. But anyways, I hope this lesson was edifying. I like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Makakodash, the Bolanas, the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.